Welcome to part 1 of chapter 4. In this part, we will talk about the importance of integration management and also the phases of a project where integration happens. And a short summary is that integration happens or starts before a project is initiated and continues throughout all phases pretty much. So, one thing to understand is the key to overall project success is good project integration management, good communication, good coordination. All those things they help to integrate all stakeholders into one single team and help you to integrate all components or all areas of a project so that you achieve an overall success. So project managers must coordinate all of the other knowledge areas throughout the project lifecycle. In other words, project managers need to be knowledgeable in all areas of a project, be it time management, cost management, or scope management. And the main goal of a project manager is to ensure that activities within those knowledge areas are all well aligned with each other, so that whatever you're doing, for example, on the budgeting side, does not contradict things that you're doing on the timing side. Unfortunately, many new project managers have trouble looking at the big picture and want to focus on too many details. I think it has to do with human nature, human cognition. Humans, they're very good when it comes to understanding specific things in specific areas. But assuming that broad, high level perspective on things, it's something that requires maturity and also intellectual capacity, right? Being able to answer the question why. I mean, at the end of the day, why we are doing this project? What's the end result, right? As opposed to just keeping yourself busy with all those little unimportant details. And just a small comment, project integration management is not the same as software integration. Software integration means integrating two software components, let's say two software components from different vendors together using some middleware, a software that sits in between and allows two modules or two software components to communicate to each other. So those are different things. So what are some of the main integration processes? Meaning, where does integration happen? Well, it turns out that integration happens even before a project is implemented. For example, when you developed a project charter, you're going to work with all stakeholders to create the document that formally authorizes a project. Most importantly, this document also creates this common mutual understanding of what needs to be done. So by creating a project charter, you're trying to bring everybody together and make sure everybody is on the same page from day one of the project. And then later on, as you add more details to your project charter, you develop the project management plan. Again, a plan coordinates all the steps, meaning how things will be done, in what order, by whom. So it's once again, it brings everything together so that you work on this project in an integrated fashion. You can think of a project management plan as a more detailed, broader version of a project charter. By the way, both deliverables are included in your group or individual project. So you'll have to develop the project charter, and at the end, you'll have to submit a detailed project management plan. Of course, a lot of integration happens during management and project execution. You need to make sure that people are working in unison, they talk to each other. One developer does not do something that contradicts to the work of another developer, and so forth. Also, during monitoring and controlling, again, this is where integration happens. You monitor to make sure that what people are doing is compliant with the overall goal of the project, to make sure that they don't contradict each other with their work. So that's one of the key goals of monitoring and controlling, to ensure that everything is working together smoothly. Integrated change control, this is another example of integration management. You cannot allow people to do one-sided changes to scope or requirements. Of course, it's impossible to rule out changes, but if there is a change request, then there needs to be a formal procedure where all relevant stakeholders get involved and they collectively decide whether this change is appropriate or not, and if it's appropriate, how it will be done, by whom and when. And then closing the project. So during this phase, once again, you bring everybody together to learn from your past mistakes, so that if you work on another project, then you don't have those issues, including issues related to coordination or integration. And this slide provides a summary of all those processes or high-level phases of a project where integration happens. So it's pretty much every phase of a project. And that completes part 1 presentation of chapter 4. Thank you for watching.